YouTube, wherever else you're checking out the show from. This is Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. And I'm back to do that. So if you can, please hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on all my other social media platforms. I put the links right below the videos. And hold on, let me do something real quick. Let me go ahead and subscribe. See, I mean, this be playing games over here. Be playing games. All right, let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, now. All right, see, I got to always check. I always got to check. So anyway, welcome to the show. Please let me know that you can hear me. So type in something. Type in anything. It don't even matter. 1 2 1 2. Let me see. I see people typing, but there we go. All right. So if you can hear me, then that means we can get busy, right? All right. So with that being said, I don't want to take up too much time because we got some stuff to talk about. Got some stuff on my mind, so I don't want to take up too much time. Let's get it. Somebody say good morning. Good morning, Dallas. I forgot you over in Thailand. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Feel your fist up and show some respect. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Now, since we got that established, let's go ahead and point out some nonsense that's in here too, that's trying to spread across the country, and I can't let it happen. I got to stop the nonsense where it starts. See, if you let that nonsense go too long and it build up, you have a problem. It's like, having some type of termites or roaches or, stuff like that. And once it gets nestled in, it's hard to get out. It's hard. You might as well burn the whole house down. So we can't have that. So I got to go ahead and nip it at the bud. But before I do that, I want y'all to know that I do have a corner store. Kevin's Corner Store, y'all. So please check it out. If you get a chance, go ahead in there and snoop around and get some stuff. Oh, wait, how'd I do that? How'd I get all the way back there? See, that's what I'm talking about. That's some nonsense right there. Giving me the slip on my... All right, now. Hold on. Okay, wait. Where's Kevin's Corner Store? How in the world did... Hold up now. What is this? What? What's going on here? We got technical difficulties, y'all. Hold on. There we go. That's where we should be, and I don't know why we weren't there. Now, like I was mentioning, I got Kevin's Corner Store. If you want to check out some merch, you can go ahead and do that. And also, if you want to support the channel, otherwise, you can do that through my Cash App and my PayPal, which is right below this video. And I would recommend that you subscribe to my channel if you can. At least you have a shot at getting a notification once in a while. Who knows? You might not. But if you subscribe, you'll have a great shot at that. And that number on the screen, 330-974-4607. If you text MAGA to that number, you will, of course, be locked in. So just in case some shenanigans take place on YouTube, I'll be able to get back with you and let y'all know where I'm at and what's going on. Now, with that being said, guys, oh, man, now, like I said, where is it at? Hold on for a second. Normally, I start my show off with creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe. But tonight, I'm switching it out, okay? If I could find my prop. Oh, I lost my favorite prop. No, I didn't. See? So now, y'all already know. When y'all see this come out, it's one of two people. Uh-huh. When you see these snappers come out, it's either Bob, the stereotypical white nationalist Trump supporter, or else you know who else it is, y'all. That's right. It's me, bag of bones, mush mouth, monkey paw hands, nasty Pelosi. That's right. So therefore, let's get it started because it's starting off with nasty Pelosi. Now, I got to go ahead and set the record straight. Bruh, got the gold, baby. So whenever you see the gold come out, that's bruh. Okay. So now let's get it because nasty Pelosi is getting real nasty. She is getting real nasty. Man, she's nasty as she always wanted to be. Listen to this crap. Here she goes. She's mad because someone checked her.
Biden is a strong supporter, as am I, of Israel. But he also has been, for a long time, as many of us have been, a strong supporter of a two-state solution, respectful of the needs and aspirations of the Palestinians.
So you know that things must be getting very nasty if they send Nasty out to talk about it. That's right. Nasty is as nasty as she has to be when she's on these networks. She doesn't mind lying. No, right through that mush mouth. In fact, she has to lubricate her mush mouth with her medicine. Oh, yes, that's good. That's good, Nasty.
So let's go ahead and listen to Nasty be nasty. All right, so now here she talking about a two-state solution. Joe always supported a two-state solution. Joe don't even know what state he's from. And she's talking about that.
Joe always supported that two-state solution.
In people. He's also been the strongest advocate for humanitarian assistance to the Palestinians, which was resisted by many in the House of Representatives on the Republican side.
Just on the Republican side, that's all. No Democrats ever resist that.
Even though the Republicans tried to get a bill passed that would just focus on financing Israel, but the Democrats are like, nah, man, nah. We got to also finance Ukraine too. Now, I'm wondering if they all loved Israel so much, then they would have said, yeah, let's go ahead and focus on Israel, one of our allies. Let's get them knocked out, and then we'll worry about Ukraine later. But nope. It was all or nothing with the Dems. So what Nasty is doing is coming out, trying to run interference for all of this controversy and all of these attacks on the Democrats from their radicals. Now, all of a sudden, we seem to have a large population of Palestinian/Hamas supporters in our country. How'd they get here? How did they get here? Well, they were bred in the colleges and stuff like that. And then they were supported by the radical left. And now probably some evil actors in our country and outside of our country is supporting all of these riots, all of these protests, all of this chaos going on campus. And these kids are wilding. I'm going to be doing a show on that tomorrow, y'all. Yeah, pointing out some of the craziness that's going on around the country. It looked like we totally lost control. Right now, we're at broken arrow status right now. Yeah, y'all remember that with Mel the Gibson? Broken arrow. That's how I feel. I'm sitting there going, we might have to yell broken arrow because it is getting ugly on these campuses. Either that or like Florida and Texas, maybe somebody need to put a foot up a butt once or twice. That's what we need. But no, we're not going to get that because see, these same radical protesters probably is going to be necessary and used by the Democrats if Trump wins. See, that's the problem. You don't want to damage your brown shirts too bad. See, but when you have trained and conditioned them to be like wild animals, like pit bulls, to be extremely arrogant, to feel no fear whatsoever of retaliation by the police, no repercussions, nothing. When you have trained them to be like that, when they turn on you, it's hard to discipline them. Try disciplining a kid that you've been encouraging to act a fool all its life. Yeah, telling them to cuss other adults out, tell them to ignore authority, tell them to do whatever. And then when you want them to do something, they're going to be looking at you like, man, shut up, Dad. Why you going to talk to me like that? I'm your father. Yeah, man, whatever, dude. So that's what the Democrats have done. And it's digging into them right now because it is lowering their poll numbers right about now. Now, I'm excited, y'all, because, I think in August, perhaps, they're having a Democrat convention up there in Chicago. Out of all the places to pick, they picked Chicago, one of the most violent, overran by illegal immigrants cities in America right about now. But these folks done promised to turn that mother out. Turn. I might go up there and blend in. I'll be up there like, that's right, everybody. I might go up there, man, cover my face like all of these protesters, which makes me wonder why you got to cover your face. I'm looking at these campuses and all of these kids running around with the face covered. Makes me think you're up to something. See, COVID's over. Huh? What are you doing? But yet they all cover their face. So why not? I come up there with my face covered just to harass the Democrats. So anyway, Nasty right now is trying to calm that down. Okay. And let's see how it all goes.
So he has been their champion, but for some reason, and I don't know what the motivation is, they decided Genocide Joe, this or that. And so,
Because Genocide Joe is the person right now in power.
That's why. They right now are like, let's attack whoever is in power that we feel could make some decisions and will give us our way. And Joe's pretty weak. He's the kind of guy that will break under the pressure. In fact, the whole Democrat Party is weak when it comes down to appeasing radicals, but they are very strong when it comes down to resisting Republicans. That's one thing I can say about them. They will not bend when it comes down to Republicans. That's where Republicans are weak. When it comes down to dealing with these radicals, then Republicans are strong. Notice these kids aren't really getting too crazy in conservative cities and states because they know foot up the butt. But them Democrat cities act a fool. And in fact, because the Democrat Party has set up their whole structure to appease everybody, to listen to all of the victimized groups and to say you're valid and you're valid and you're valid. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And because they have no moral compass, and because they always lick their finger and stick it up to see which way the wind is blowing politically, they're more easily swayed to the angry mob as long as those protesters aren't conservatives. If these are potential Democrat voters, enough pressure, enough harassment, no telling what they'll concede. So let's finish here. Yo, you see the monkey paw? You see that? Hi ho, the monkey paw. So let's go ahead.
So that makes me question some of the motivation of some of them. Mostly it's spontaneous, it's organic, it's sincere, and it's to be respected. But
do you really think these are organic and spontaneous protests? All of them got the same unis, the same gear, the same tents. That's like trying to convince me that all of those Black Lives Matter and Antifa riots were just spontaneous. Somehow they were able to organize huge buses, hotel stay, all their riot gear, and show up within like an hour of some controversial, situation that takes place in the city. Yeah, just like that. Try organizing anything that quick. Anything. Are you kidding me? You could be sitting back like, all right, I like to organize a conference call amongst the family. Let's see. We got 15 people in the family? You might get 5 on the phone, if that. And they will be like, dude, you got 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Try organizing anything that quick, but yet somehow they were just showing up miraculously. Same thing with these folks. You've trained them well, Nasty. You've trained them well. Let's continue.
But it also has to not be anti-Semitic or anti-Israel, which could be interpreted that way. They have a right to criticize Israel, as we all do.
Yes.
But we also have a right to be safe as we do so. Isn't that what Bill Barr's interpretation?
Now here we go. This is where it goes off the rails. Because right about now, Nasty thinks she's come onto that set to do what she always does. Spew up nastiness. See, she's thinking that nobody's going to challenge Nasty. You know how Nasty roll. She don't like nobody challenge her. Remember those protesters? When they showed up while she was walking around in Congress and they were harassing her and she started going, shoo, shoo, shoo.
Nasty doesn't play that. Don't you know who I am? There's a reason why they call me Nasty. Don't make me put this monkey paw up your butt.
So now, here's Nasty going into some Trump rants and it backfires. Something she wasn't expecting, y'all.
Is if he thought he heard it or didn't hear it. What is important is what Donald Trump has said. Donald Trump is a great threat to our democracy. What is a democracy? What are the pillars?
So now, the person who cares nothing about democracy is about to give us a lesson on democracy.
What is democracy? Democracy is whatever the Democrats say it is. That's what it is. Democracy is whatever we want it to be at the time.
So now here she is going to give us a breakdown on democracy because she says, Trump, he doesn't support democracy. Here we go.
What are the pillars? A free and independent press.
Like the one you're talking to right now?
A free and, independent press.
You mean like MSNBC? The show that lets you come on there and spew up nothing but lies? That's what you're calling a free and independent press? Yeah, no wonder they try to silence all of us free and independent, commentators and news networks outside of the left. Yeah, whenever they're not co-opted by you guys, that's when the free and the independent press goes out the window. Yeah, slap censorship and call that mess dis and misinformation. That's right. But get on these shows and say things like you said the other night, nasty, where you was on there talking about, you know what, I think that Putin is behind this, and I think the Russians and Donald Trump and this and that, and nobody questioned you. That's a free and independent press. But hey, since she said it, the lady she talking to is like, well, maybe I should try this on for size. She just said a free and independent press. You know what? I'm going for it. I'm going for it. Normally, I'm a paid prostitute. But she's going to ask an independent question, and that's what nasty is going to get nasty. Let's continue.
To tell the story of what's going on, to keep everybody.
To tell the story that we want them to tell. That's what a free and independent press means. I send out the memo, and you guys parrot it.
That's what she's talking about.
Informed of what people are saying and doing. That transparency is essential. A independent judiciary.
Get that much mouth together. Come on now. Spit that mess out. Don't spit the dentures out, though. Spit them words out.
An independent judiciary, when they're practically threatening on TV exposure of jurors in a trial of the president or any trial.
An independent judiciary, when there's that.
Nobody's threatening these people. This burns me up. See, once again, another tactic of the left. Whenever you criticize them, they bubble wrap themselves by saying, your criticism of us is endangering us. Therefore, shut your mouth and let us have our way with you. Let us just throw punches at you and not allow you to fire one back at us. Not one. Not one. You're not allowed to punch back. Thus, them attacking Trump and trying to silence him. But yes, she's talking about a free and independent press. Now, do you think these dictators, these tyrants really believe in freedom, the Constitution? All of these principles stand in the way of their control and their power. So they use these statements just to go ahead and bludgeon their opponent by accusing them of attacking these institutions, when in reality, they're subverting them the whole time with propaganda and nothing but gaslight. So let's finish hearing her hypnotize everybody with that monkey paw.
Any of that. What is about an independent judiciary? It's about free and fair elections. And what do they do but suppress the vote? So there's nothing.
Now, she's just saying stuff now. Because she's feeling real good. She's feeling real safe and comfortable. I mean, look where she is. She's on the raggediest network on news, on TV. So she's feeling reckless right now. She ain't even trying to think about what's coming out of her mouth.
And I mean, you know, like the judicial system is compromised, and you know what else? The elections and are suppressed and votes are.
She's feeling happy. She's like, nasty, you could throw out anything you want to write about now, because nobody's going to stop you.
Thing in his performance, if that's the word we'll use, what he has done, that would indicate that he cares, prioritizes, or ever valued or did anything to support a democracy. And
now, do you hear that? See, once again, she's feeling good. She's feeling real good.
And she doesn't care to show his performance, doesn't show that he does anything to support a democracy.
So now, here she is saying Trump doesn't support a democracy. Nothing he's done that shows that he supports a democracy. Now, I mean, I'm just saying, if I was interviewing Nasty, I probably would check Nasty at the door. You say that he doesn't do anything to support a democracy. Is it Trump that wants to push all types of gun legislation and restrictions? Listen here, you get that microphone out of my face, you little black sassy man. You can't talk to me like that. I'll have you flogged. That's what she'd probably say to me. I'd be like, wait a minute. Was it Trump that is always having his DOJ and the FBI and all of them censor folks and get on big tech and try to monitor all of that stuff? Was that Trump? Was it Trump that wanted everybody to lock down and get in their houses and their kids couldn't go to school? Was it Trump that did all of that? See, but yet she says
There's nothing he did that would show that he supports a democracy.
because she can get away with it. She's on MSNBC. And those dumb viewers don't even know the principles and elements of a democracy. They think these Democrats running around saying all of the garbage they say, that means they're defending democracy. But yet, Trump was one of the biggest defenders of democracy. Now, here's my point. If he wasn't a defender of democracy, why didn't he do any of the things they said he was going to do as a dictator his first presidency? I'm just wondering. Name somebody's rights that got rolled back while he was president. Name some people who were jailed just because. Some people probably should have been jailed, but a lot of them wasn't jailed. Name the folks that was being spied on in the church parking lots and stuff under Trump's regime. See, so here she is talking about he doesn't show anything that represents a democracy or that he supports a democracy, but she don't want to get into the details of that. Fill in the fake blank news. That's what she wants. She's like, you know what? Y'all been doing a great job this whole time saying that he's Hitler. He is Mussolini. He's attacking all our principles. He wants to become a dictator. So I'm going to allow all of these viewers to fill in the blanks from all of the programming that we've been dropping in y'all heads for the last 8 years. So she's feeling real high on her horse right about now. Until.
And now on the ballot saying he should have immunity from whatever he might do. I mean, really.
You mean like Joe? Are you talking? Oh, you mean like Hillary? That's what you mean. Yeah, because see, it sounds to me like only Democrats get immunity. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, we still got Crooked running around getting on the news. Talking about Trump's a dictator and he's attacking our democracy. We still got Creepy Sleepy still shuffling around and getting on Air Force One and on Marine One. Should be having somebody look into his situation, multiple ones. But we just found out that, we couldn't prove intent when it came down to Joe and his classified documents. Therefore, he has immunity. With Democrats, you have to prove intent. Everybody else, you can go ahead and speculate. Let's continue.
I have sympathy and respect for everybody who votes. I'm just glad people vote. I know some.
No, you're not.
I have respect for everyone who votes. I'm glad that people vote.
You're disgusted by it. You hate the fact that people can vote. That's why you're trying to replace voters right now with all of your precious illegal immigrants. Yes, we don't call them illegal. I'm sorry, we call them undocumented. That's what they call them. See, so here she is talking about she's impressed. She loves when people vote. No, you don't. That's why you want Trump off the ballot. That's why you guys are doing everything you can to stack the deck and sabotage Trump. But yet you love when people vote for Democrats.
Some of them will always reject those of us who might look different to them in leadership or the rest, and that's that. But there are those who have real legitimate concerns about immigration.
Here we go. Y'all buckle up, because here we go. So now she's going down some of the legitimate problems, all as a result of Biden's choices.
Some of them have, issues with illegal immigration that we are the cause of.
See, she failed to mention that. Let's continue.
Globalization, innovation.
Globalization, innovation.
No, those things aren't on my mind. I don't care about globalization. Yeah, I care about MAGA, Make America Great Again. I care about America and our borders. Problem is y'all care too much about
globalization.
Yeah, sending our money everywhere. But let's continue.
And what does that mean for their job and their family's future? And we have to address those concerns. And Joe Biden is doing that. Created 9 million jobs in his term in office. Donald Trump has the worst record of job loss of any president.
Whoa, wow. Now look at that. With all of those fake behind words that just came out of her mouth, then why isn't his poll numbers better? Why aren't all of the American people saying, you know what, in that poll, the economy's great. I think he's doing a great job. Why are all these people saying that the economy was better under Trump? Do you think we have short-term memories when it comes down to why jobs left? Now, maybe the bubbles maybe those bubbles that's popping as they're watching MSNBC have forgotten that it was the Democrats. Now, honestly, let me go. I don't even think that the you know what that just fell out of the sky was an accident or an escaped, something from some lab. I think it was planned. I'm just saying. I think it was planned. I think it was planned and used for them to do what they did. That's what I think. That's just me. That's just me personally. Last I checked, you're still allowed to have an opinion. But the point is, not only do I believe it was used for that, but right after that, they knew that the biggest selling point for Trump was a strong economy. Now, isn't it ironic that the first thing they want to do is shut down the economy? That's what they did. Yeah, they went ahead and used little Fibo the mouse, the Fauci. We only want 2 weeks. That's it. 2 weeks to slow the spread. Trump agreed to that, and then they didn't want to relinquish that. They all band together and start going crazy, saying Trump was going to kill everybody if he reopens the economy. And so that right there is what made all those jobs go. They plan that mess so that they can have this very talking point right here. But they act as if we don't know how life was up until that very moment. They act like we don't realize who it was that supported shutting down all those jobs. They act like we don't remember that. See? So now here she is talking about Joe Biden has created more jobs than anyone else. You mean the jobs that y'all destroyed? Now, all of a sudden, all these jobs are so-called coming back, and most of them are going to illegal immigrants. And you're saying Trump lost more jobs than any other president. But guys, this is where something goes wrong. This paid actor must have had a brain fart and asked the question or made a statement that Nasty didn't like.
So we just have to make sure people know.
That was a global pandemic.
Whoop.
He had the worst record of any.
Oh, did you see that shit? She was shocked. Like, wait, what? What did you just say to me? You scallywag. Do you know who I am? I'm Nasty. That's it. Monkey paw. Action. He had the worst.
I finally seen Nasty put that monkey paw on somebody. Man, she got that monkey paw right in that lady's face.
President. We've had other concerns in our country. If you want to be an apologist for Donald Trump, that may be your role. But
yes, see, you know what? If we weren't on national TV, I'd slap your face right now. Matter of fact, let me call my butler. Gibbs, come over here and slap this peasant, please. No, you can't do it because we're still on TV? Okay. Yes, we'll do it afterwards. Anyway, back to you. How dare you interrupt me?
Yeah, so now here she is, mad. Madder than a mug, man. See, that goes to show that she got overconfident. Being on these networks, feeling like she could just throw out anything with no repercussions, no pushback, and normally that's what happens. Normally they all sit there going, yes, that's true, that's true. But Nasty was taken back, and I loved her expression. Let's see the very moment where she realized that, what? I'm being opposed? Or just questioned.
His term in office, Donald Trump has the worst record of job loss of any president. So we just have to make sure people know.
That was a global pandemic.
Look.
What?
He had the worst record of any president. We've had other concerns in our country. If you want to be an apologist for Donald Trump, that may be your role. But
that
it
may
ain't
be your
mine.
role.
And he has the
think that
worst.
anybody can accuse me of that.
You see that? Now, of course, you're an apologist for Donald Trump. See, this is how the Democrats roll.
She's talking about a free and independent press.
Well, now the free and independent press isn't allowed to ask a question or make a statement, an observation that was true. Her eyes rolled side to side because she was trying to process it. Soon as she said it, yeah, but we had a pandemic. She was like, looking side to side like, what the heck? What is this? Somebody's resisting Nasty? So now she's going to go ahead and chastise her and pretty much label her as a Trump sympathizer. Just like all of those protesters now are Putin puppets. Anybody who opposes the Democrats get labeled, and yet these people still support them. They have no loyalty to anybody but themselves. And even that is suspect. I mean, even if one of the most prominent Democrats right about now ever decided to switch parties, they would throw them under the bus too. I don't care how much if Hillary Clinton decided to become a MAGA supporter, they would call her trash. They'd be like, it's obvious that Putin has gotten to her. She's probably being controlled by the Russians. Everybody becomes free game when you resist them. And they're so used to getting away with propaganda, Nasty didn't know how to handle it. So what did she do? She got nasty and she used that monkey paw on her.
And may I just say, as a Speaker of the House, we put forth a $3 trillion bill.
And how'd that work out for you? Yeah, why does the economy still suck? What happened to that $3 trillion bill?
$3 trillion of investment in communities and the rest, and that stimulates the economy.
Did it? Did it? Because it looks like we're going backwards. So I guess then the American people just aren't able to see all of the fruits of your labor. That's what it is. Maybe they're blinded by all of that monkey paw movement. Who knows? So there you have it. Nasty had to get nasty for the first time on her safe platform. She was not ready for it. She went in there like, that's right. I have all of my lies prepared. Now listen here, you scallywag. Sit back and enjoy the show. Nasty's about to be put on a performance. And she did. She put on a performance. But guys, as she just talked about Trump and democracy, all of that stuff, Trump is being attacked by the Marxist Party, which is the left, and he's not going to take it anymore. See, they don't realize, though, all of that getting on TV and saying Trump is trying to attack democracy, he doesn't defend democracy, all of that mess. Joe Biden, he said this, he said that, and the fake news, he still keeps getting stronger. He's like, you know who? And they can't understand it. So here's Trump right before he goes into this bootleg trial. And he comes out and he drops a lot of info while giving a lot of blows to this judge and to who? Creepy Sleepy. But Creepy got weak ribs. So Trump's about to crack all of those ribs right now in this speech. Let's check out what Trump is talking about.
Thank you very much. So we begin again. This is a case that should never have been brought.
Never.
Every single major legal scholar, Jonathan Turley, Greg Jarrett, Andy McCarthy, Dershowitz, every single scholar, Mark Levin, the great Mark Levin, had a whole show on it last night, said that this is a disgraceful case. It's a disgrace to the New York state and city court system. And all of the cases are, frankly, all of them are. You probably saw last night that Jack Smith got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Oh, yeah. How was old Jack in the Box doing? How was Fat Fanny doing down there, huh? How was Queen Latifah doing? It seems like all of these bootleg cases are kind of dwindling. They're falling apart. So now you know it's bad when they got to hang their hat on Alvin Fat Albert Bragg in this raggedy case. And so that's what they're hanging it on. And they had the nerve to conjure up a very obvious biased judge, a corrupt Democrat judge. Now, notice the heavy hitters that Trump named that he said looked at this case and they're all going, this is garbage. So obviously, this judge is willing to destroy his reputation and credibility in the eyes of real legal scholars by taking on this case. So they had to find a judge corrupt enough and a judge that's willing enough to look stupid in front of his peers. That is the honest peers. See, now for those peers that simply say, I don't care what you got to do to stop Trump, he's going to look like a hero. But in the eyes of real legal scholars, this dude looks horrible. Wait until you hear the details of this case that this judge is okay with. Let's continue.
It was released late last night, and it's a big story. The documents case is a hoax created by them for election interference purposes.
And I hope they all pay the price. Right now, they're in too deep. They got to see it to the end, man. They're like, dude, we done put together all of this mess. We done coordinated all of this. We done colluded with all these people. If this man somehow gets back in office and looks into that, we're done. So why not? Alvin Bragg, do what you got to do. Save our lives. You're our last hope, Obi-Wan, Obi-Fat Kenobi.
And so that one looks like it's going asunder. A brilliant judge saw some facts, and I haven't read what was revealed yet. It just came out. But the document hoax is indeed a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax. All of them are hoaxes.
All of them.
Including the civil cases.
And that is why Trump continues to get stronger. See, they're not attacking him with the proper stuff. They're lying. Yeah, all the stuff that they're attacking him with, everybody's going, those are lies. And that makes me want to support him even more. These are bootleg cases. That makes me think I picked the right horse. I bet on the right horse. Everybody's trying to break the horse's leg. So he must be the fastest horse. Must be the best horse.
They're controlled by the White House. They're controlled by Democrat judges and prosecutors that were put there specifically. They hate Trump. And the people are getting it. That's why we just came out. A new Emerson poll just was released about 2 minutes ago. And I'm leading by a lot in every swing state and leading in the general election.
And I know they hate that. They like, how is it that all of the stuff we done tried is not working? He's still leading. He's still beating our butts. So now you can see why they want this man gagged. He's coming out there firing into all of them, calling out all of them. He ain't afraid to say all of these cases are garbage, they're bootleg, and they hate him for it. They want this man silenced, and you're going to find out they want Trump in jail. In jail. Some people do. But there's a dilemma with that, and I'll explain.
You saw the CNN poll. I'm sure they aren't too happy with it, but the CNN poll was fantastic. So we're here. This is a hoax. This is a judge who's conflicted. Badly conflicted. I've never seen a judge so conflicted. And giving us virtually no rulings. I hear I'm not even allowed to say advice of counsel. This is a new one to me.
And see, the judge is not conflicted. He's corrupt. There's a difference. He already knew he was conflicted when he took the case. He's just corrupt. He's the person that decides whether he recuses himself or not. I don't think I did anything wrong. Now, I don't think I have a conflict of interest. I don't care what it looks like. Of course, my daughter is making money. She works for Kamala Harris and all the Democrats and stuff. And she had an emoji with Trump in jail. But hey, I'm able to separate that. Interesting.
Advice of counseling. When you have a lawyer and the lawyer does something or advises you on something, you say advice of counsel. He said you're not allowed to say that.
Now, isn't that odd? Why this judge is so tough on Trump, won't let him say certain things, just quick to jump on his back for nothing. If he asks a question, what are you doing over there? You're not allowed to talk in my courtroom. It's almost like he's watching Trump more than he's listening to the prosecution. Just sitting there waiting for Trump to do something. I'm going to hold you in contempt, Mr. Trump. For what? I look down at my shoes. Hey, eyes up in my courtroom. Okay? Now go ahead, continue, counsel.
Well, as I was saying, Your Honor, are you paying attention, Your Honor?
Yes, to Trump. That's what I'm doing. I'm waiting to go ahead and say, So this guy, along with Engerong or whatever his name was, all of them were very hostile to Trump, trying to restrict him, trying to make sure he couldn't talk, trying to make his life more miserable. Wasn't trying to hear a fair case. It's almost like they came in prejudging Trump. Yeah, it almost feels like they don't like Trump. It almost feels as if it's personal. That's what it feels like to me. And everybody knows it's personal. Everybody knows that this is garbage and that judge got it in for him. Everybody knows it. And that's why Trump continues to get stronger.
And so you'll all figure it out. But I think the public has figured it out because the poll numbers are the highest they've ever been.
We have.
And I appreciate you treated me, actually, I thought quite fairly, at least the people here, which is a lot of people. And I appreciate that. The Biden protests that are going on are horrible. It's all caused by him because he doesn't know how to speak. He can't put two sentences together.
Oh, beautiful. Zinger, Trump. So Trump, in the midst of exposing these fake prosecutions and that raggedy judge, Yeah, unlike Biden, his brain functions. It works. Hey, he's like, you know what? While I'm at it, take this opportunity to touch on a couple things that's going on around the country. Real things, not the made up stuff that Biden comes up with when he's trying to attack Trump. And Trump called all those soldiers suckers and losers and stuff. And in Charlottesville, ain't never said, yeah, all of the made up stuff. But this is real. So right now we got chaos on all of these campuses. We got all of these whippersnappers, snotty nose, young adults tying themselves together in the middle of traffic, blocking stuff, taking over stuff, threatening folks on campus, breaking stuff on campus. And where's Creepy? Hiding somewhere. Yeah, he already is a victim of this too, because they seem to show up everywhere Creepy goes. I don't know how they're getting his schedule, how they're getting close enough to where you can hear them protesting him almost everywhere. And I'm going, somebody with some power must want Creepy to make some decisions that he ain't ready to make at this point, because these protesters are getting into everywhere. Remember at the church when Creepy went there to pander and they were in there? How do you even get a ticket to get in there? See, so they're showing up all over the place, and Creepy ain't came out and denounced nothing. Just like when all of those Black Lives Matter Antifa folks was tearing up stuff, it wasn't until it got so bad to where Don Lemon and Fredo Cuomo was like, he got to come out. He got to come out and say something. Mr. President, please, if you don't come out and address all of these riots, you're going to lose the election. And he came out and gave a bad, address. Violence is not right, peaceful protesters, but most of them been mostly peaceful protesters. Thank you. Good night. So now I'm waiting for Creepy to come out and condemn all of this, because I've been watching the footage online and I'm going, man, I'd smack a kid. I ain't going to even lie. I'd be like, all right, I'm starting my smack a kid business. All right, these kids are taking up space and they're getting violent. Okay, all right, here you go. I take checks. You want me to smack a kid? Psh, smack a kid, man. Them dudes are crazy. All in your face, antagonizing people, interrupting people's lives. Where's Creepy?
He's got to get out and make a statement, because the colleges are being overrun in this country. The anti-Semitism, all of the problems going on, they're being overrun. I've never said anything like it.
Me either.
He said he ran because of Charlottesville. Well, if the people that know Charlottesville, when you extend a statement, it's a big hoax.
Another hoax that we still hear Creepy lying on the campaign trail about. I ran because of what Trump said after Charlottesville. What did he say? Huh? Honestly, I don't remember. Something about there's good people on something side. Anyway, I ran because he's a white nationalist. So Trump is, once again, have to address that. Extend the statement. You'll find that these Democrats are recycling these lies, mustering them up again after 4 years. But now Creepy got a chance to come out and denounce. Why isn't he doing that? Why isn't he coming out and condemning anti-Semitism on all of these college campuses?
What they say was said, and they understand that. And Charlottesville is peanuts compared to what you're looking at now. This whole country is up in arms. Breaking into colleges, knocking the hell out of Columbia University. I mean, they took over. I know the building very well. They took over a building. That is a big deal.
It is a big deal. So right now, we living in Thunderdome. We don't need another hero. All we need is to be under Thunderdome. Why are we living in Thunderdome? Why are we up here like, welcome to the jungle, and we have fun and games? Why are we living like this? This is America. These people do not fear authority anymore. That's what it is. Yeah, somebody's backing these folks to where they don't even fear authority. And then today I found out that they got a special number that they call when they get arrested. They got little assistants to help get them out. That means somebody is helping and supporting this movement, especially when I see these kids getting interviewed and they have no idea what the heck they're protesting for. I'm going, oh, yeah. Said there's a benefit, but it sure ain't because you believe in what you're protesting for. That's for sure. So Trump is calling it out, man.
And I wonder what's going to happen to them will be anything comparable to what happened to J6.
Yeah.
Because they're doing a lot of destruction, a lot of damages, a lot of people getting hurt very bad.
Yeah, somebody said, yeah, New York has been turned into barter town. That's right. Yeah, and Joe right now is Blaster, and somebody on his back is Master. Because Joe ain't got no brains. Y'all remember Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, Master Blaster? Somebody else is controlling Joe. He's just the person in power that they're using to implement whatever is going on. But right now, he ain't doing nothing. So who runs Barter Town? It appears that all the radicals run it. It appears that the illegal immigrants run it at this point. It appears that the criminals run Barter Town. Because Joe's show ain't running nothing.
I wonder if that's going to be the same kind of treatment they gave J6.
Yeah, I want some of that type treatment for these kids. Taking over areas on campus, messing up folks' education. Yeah, maybe somebody want to go to class and learn. Now I got to sit at home and learn. Like I'm back on lockdowns again. On the computer. All right, the Geneva Convention. Man, I'm falling asleep here. I sure enough wish I was in class. I could get feedback from my professor. But nope. Now everybody got to stay home because these zoo animals have taken over the zoo. Taken over the zoo. So now I'm wondering what's going to happen to all of these kids? Nothing. Just like nothing happened to all of those folks that came protesting outside of Supreme Justice's houses. Nothing happened to them. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, because see, they might have to use them later. Let's continue.
Let's see how that all works out. I think I can give you the answer right now.
Me too, Trump.
And that's why people have lost faith in our court system.
Thank you. And that's why they want you silenced. Because we all see it. You see it. All Trump is doing is saying what we all feel on the inside and what we all know to be true. Folks do not believe in the justice system anymore. I mean, and you cannot function like that with folks walking around going, I don't believe in this no more. I mean, it was great while it lasted. America, the dream, in theory, is all great. But right about now, what I am living in is not America. Yeah, what I'm living in is the beginning, if not a little further than the beginning of a banana republic, of a globalist country. Yeah. And at any given moment, they can turn the force of the government against me and all of the folks who think like me. See, that's a problem. As they see them doing this to Trump. And yet you going, well, I'm just Kev from Kevin's Corner. What would they do to me?
So the Biden protests are a disaster, and he hasn't even made a statement because he's not capable of making a statement.
Give him another one, Trump. Yeah, he ain't made a statement because he can't. That's why he hasn't come out and negotiated with all of these other countries and their leaders, because he can't have a serious one-on-one with them. Yeah, it has to be a staged little press conference when he does meet with them, where he's sitting there reading his notes. Anyway, so support of our commitment to Israel has always been, while the other leaders are looking around going, what am I supposed to do here? Do I just sit here like that? I don't know what he's saying. I mean, are we going to take questions? I mean, I can answer questions. Can he? I don't know. I mean, he seems to have some. Oh, and now we're going to take a couple questions. They told me to call on. Let's see here. Associated Press. Janet from that guy. See, so how is he going to come out and make a speech that makes sense? Address this without angering the angry mob. That's the funny part about it. If this man comes out and condemns these young adults, you think they mad at him now? Boy, they will let him have it and he will lose Michigan. So what is he doing? No, I'm not coming out. Sir, you got to come out and say something. Don't make me do stuff.
I'm still waiting for him to debate. He said on the very lowly rated Howard Stern show, he said very strong, I wanted to come. Well, we haven't seen it. But we would love to debate anytime, and I think it's a good time to have a debate, even though it's early. But 6 months is pretty close. November 5th is going to go down as the most important day in the history of our country because we're going to turn our country around. Our country is going to hell. It's going to hell. It's very sad to see. But November 5th is going to be the most important day in the history of our country. So I'm going to go into this trial. I'm going to sit in a freezing cold icebox for...
Freezing cold icebox. So they are trying to make it a pain in the butt for Trump. There you go. So now, Trump is once again capitalizing off of one of Biden's unforced errors. Yeah, he let Weird Al Yankovic talk him into agreeing to a debate. Now Trump is going to win. Tell you what, after I leave this fake hearing right here, we can meet in the street and do it. That's what I want to see. I want to see old school, right in the street. People make a circle. Back up, everybody. All right, man. All right, go ahead, man. Do your thing. That's what I want to see. Take it to the streets, Trump. Call that bum out anywhere, anytime. Biden ain't got nothing for Trump when it comes down to that, and he knows it. So now, of course, he got to go in there and spend his whole day listening to a corrupt, evil, stinking judge and a raggedy prosecutor try to make it appear that he violated some type of finance charges or something. I don't know.
8 hours, 9 hours or so. They took me off the campaign trail. But the good news is my poll numbers are the highest they've ever been. So at least we're getting the word out. And everybody knows this trial is a scam. It's a scam.
It's a scam.
The judge should be recused, and he should recuse himself today.
You think he will?
It's the most recusable judge I've been told. Recusal abuse. And he should recuse himself today.
Yeah.
Maybe he will. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll do the right thing.
That's not in the nature of the Democrats. When is the last Democrat you saw do the? You know what? Nah, I'll take that back. Christian Cinema, I think, when she resisted the filibuster, and I think what was the other dude in West Virginia, and now they're both hated by Democrats. But the Democrats has already said if we get the power again, we're destroying that filibuster, man. We're going to go ahead and pack those courts. So you see what's at stake right now? These people, if they get power again, they will ensure that they will never lose it again. If they take the House, the Senate, and the executive branch, it is over, man. Over. So yeah, this corrupt judge is not about to recuse himself, because if that's the case, he would have never even taken up the case. He would have never agreed to it, knowing all of the controversy surrounding it and knowing all of the details, which we're about to go ahead and expose. Because what type of judge that's trying to uphold his reputation would overlook all of this stuff we're about to go ahead and expose?
Really, more importantly than the recusal, he should terminate the case today. The judge should terminate the case because they have no case. As Jonathan Turley said, as all of them said.
All of the real legal scholars?
McCarthy. Everyone. Greg Jarrett. Mark Levin. They all said
the great one? Mark
this case should be ended immediately. This case is over.
Right now?
It should be ended immediately. And many of them are not.
Now I wonder, how does it feel knowing that they're looking at you like a corrupt bootleg judge? I'm talking about all of the legal scholars with integrity. They all know this judge is corrupt, but I guess he just don't care. I guess it's greater than him. So I don't understand as a professional. You know, you're okay with going, man, I know they're all looking at me like this cat. He's a sellout. There's no way in the world he should take this case. No way in the world he shouldn't recuse himself. There's no way in the world he shouldn't throw this mess out so quick. So that means he's corrupt.
Fans of mine, but they want to do the right thing for the country. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. And I'm going to go into the icebox now.
The icebox.
And sit for about 8 hours or 9 hours. I'd much rather be in Georgia. I'd much rather be in Florida.
We'd much rather you be there.
States that are in play, states that, I'd like to be able to campaign. Biden's out campaigning, and you call it campaigning. He can't campaign because every time he opens his mouth, he gets in trouble.
Oh, I'm loving it. On the way out, you seen Smack Biden? Yeah, Biden's out campaigning, but he really can't campaign because every time he opens his mouth, he gets in trouble. Smack! Just like that, because you can get a smack for that. That's right. 4 more years. Pause. What? Why is everybody saying 4 more years? 4 more. Oh, wait. That guy.
But Biden is out campaigning very nicely. I think when I start campaigning, he'll stop. He'll go back into his basement. But I want to thank everybody. You've really been treating me very fair. I want to thank Time Magazine. They did a cover story, which is very nice, and it's actually there's at least 60%. It's at least 60% correct, which is about all I can ask for. So I want to thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Are you going to honor the crowd?
Yeah, man. And speaking of, Mark Levin, for all of us who don't have a law degree, for the average man who's trying to figure out what this whole case is about, we need your help. We need your help, great one. Okay, would you please break this mess down? Because remember, they don't want the public to know what this case is about. What's the crime? That's why my title says, is it a crime? Is it a crime that Trump is still beating their tails? That's what the crime is. The crime is Trump is giving it to them. So now, here we go. They got to make one up. And they know that the average person have no idea what all of this is about. So the great one is going to have to walk us through it on a very primitive level. Common sense level. Mark, take it away, please.
In Manhattan, let's pretend we had a real judge who was competent.
We got that.
Who actually wanted to do what a judge is supposed to do.
Okay, there we go.
And let's pretend we have this prosecutor, Alvin Bragg.
Oh, Fat Albert.
And he files a 34-count indictment against a former president who's running for president again.
So everybody follow on the story and the scenario? We're all pretending. Go there in your imagination. First thing we got to do is believe that we actually have a real, legitimate judge. See, so we got to pretend because we already know the real one is fake. So now we got to create the fake one. Okay, so we're creating the fake one that's real. Okay, so here we go.
And let's say the president's lawyers file, as they did, responses to the indictments.
I'm writing this down.
Seeking dismissal, summary judgment.
Okay.
And let's pretend I'm at this hearing, that I'm the judge.
Okay.
And Mr. Bragg has to present not his case.
Not his case.
But I want to deal with this issue of dismissal or potentially summary judgment.
Oh, okay. So wait now. Y'all ready? We got a judge with integrity. Bragg is presenting his case, and I got to decide whether I dismiss this mess or not. But the key element that Mark has inserted into this scenario is a judge with integrity, a legitimate judge. What would a legitimate judge do and say? How would a legitimate judge look at the details of the case?
Mr. Bragg stands before me, and I say, Mr. Bragg, I have read your 34 charges. I'm a little confused.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, Your Honor. What might it be? What is the crime that you're alleging?
Is it a crime that Trump still beating y'all butts? That's the crime. That's what Fat Albert would say. The crime is Trump is still winning, and we need to stop him. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me make up the fake one. The fake one, because that's the real one. But here we go.
Well, Your Honor, we are alleging that the misdemeanor statutes in New York were violated with respect to the reporting of businesses, and that Donald Trump concealed a payment to Stormy Daniels in a non-disclosure arrangement, hush money, in order to violate the Federal Election Commission laws with respect to positive information in an election that's illegally paid for. Well,
Now that's interesting. Key word that caught my attention immediately was misdemeanor. So why are we on here on some felony charges? How did it get bumped up to a felony? I'm wondering. I'm just wondering. Now, I ain't got no law degree, I ain't no judge. But normally when it starts off as a misdemeanor, it doesn't jump up to a felony. That's all I'm saying. Usually you kick it back down, not up. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe the person came into the courtroom. It was a misdemeanor. He was caught drinking out in public. But for some reason, the judge just don't like the way the guy looks. You know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and kick that up to a felony. So now it's a misdemeanor, and yet we're in court? Wait a minute. And this is the president who's running right now? Oh, okay, let's continue, Mark, because I'm sure in your scenario, the judge would be like, get out of my courtroom.
that's interesting, Mr. Bragg. I have a couple of questions for you, yes.
Okay.
Now, this misdemeanor statute you're looking at, it's already expired. The statute of limitations are over. They've been over years ago.
That's what a judge with integrity would say. And guess what? Me not being a judge, if I knew that, I would say just on that alone, hey, Fat Albert, get out of my courtroom. So wait, you're bringing in a misdemeanor charge that expired over 2 years ago, and somehow you want me to lower myself and just totally pimp out all of my integrity and credibility and take this case on seriously? That should be going through the judge's head if he was legit. Because for him to go, all right, I'm listening, after hearing that, lets me know he's a bootleg judge. Let's continue, though.
Yes, Your Honor, but this revives it. Well, I have a question.
What?
So why did you bring the case now?
Oh, another question that a judge with integrity would ask. That's a good question. So, Fat Albert, okay, before you, hey, your butt out of here. My question to you is, one, how did it become a felony if it's a misdemeanor? Two, this happened how long ago? 2 years ago, and it expired. What made you dust it off and bring it to me? That would be my next question. Okay, but let's continue. Right now.
Number one, Mr. Bragg.
Mr. Bragg.
Number two, you don't get to come into this courtroom
And do what?
base a case on a federal offense that has never been charged, let alone adjudicated. It's never been charged at the federal level with the Federal Election Commission, referring it to the Department of Justice.
What?
It's never been charged by the U.S. Attorney's Office. In fact, both of those entities looked at it and took a pass.
Wow. Now that's strike three. That's what I would do. I'll be going, let me get this straight. You come into my courtroom and you bring these stupid charges. So you're going to try to kick this up to a felony that really the statutes of limitations have expired, and yet no federal charges have been brought in this case. So are you a federal prosecutor or you're not? So what are you doing here? How did you insert yourself into the role of the federal government? Who gave you the jurisdiction to just say, well, you know what? Forget what the feds got to say about this. I think this is important enough for me to overstep where I'm at and go ahead and go after Trump on some federal charges. That's what I'm going to do. Because I'm getting pimped out. That's right. Because I told Joe Biden I shouldn't do this. And he said, hush up, boy. Save my life. Do what we installed you to do. So now, nobody else wants to touch the case, but Fat Albert decided he would. Now, isn't that ironic? Fat Albert, his opinion or his view or how he's seeing this case, nobody else saw it that way. All of those people in the federal government that normally do this for a living and focus and break down all of these things and deal with, campaign finance issues and stuff, none of them were able to see what Fat Albert saw. He sees something that all of them can't see. So he's like, well, forget what you idiots are saying. I'm bringing charges, stepping right into the role of the federal government, and I'm taking this man to the well. Just like that. And guess what? The judge says, I'll allow it. So that means both of them are raggedy. Go ahead, Mark. Continue with your scenario.
So you're asking me, a judge, to take your 34 charges to resuscitate a misdemeanor statute that lapsed years ago because now you decide to bring the case now in the middle of an election, and you claim it's resuscitated and it becomes a felony for which Mr. Trump can serve decades in prison because you have decided, a local elected DA.
Just a local elected DA. Just like all the rest of them. And you wonder why all of these are fake. So Fat Albert jumped his fat butt up on top of that case and said, clear. Now, isn't it crazy how Democrats always accuse folks of stuff that even the federal government hasn't done? Trump still hasn't been tried for insurrection, has he? No? Oh, okay. Has he been convicted? No. But they still call him an insurrectionist? Okay. So, same thing with Fat Albert. So, Fat Albert decided, after everybody said it's a dead case, I'm not going to even pursue it because it's going to ruin my reputation. See, we know this is garbage. We don't, but you're willing to let yours be ruined, Fat Albert. Go ahead, have at it. You're a bottom feeder. That's what you are. You're a bottom feeder. And so is this judge. For them to even try to make us think that this is a legitimate case, and yet they still haven't even identified the crime. Ain't that crazy? Is it a crime?
not the U.S. Attorney's Office, not the Department of Justice.
No.
You have decided
You,
that
Fat
Donald
Albert.
Trump committed a federal campaign violation for which he's never been charged, let alone has the matter been adjudicated. Do I have that about right?
Yeah. And the sad part is all of these bootleg prosecutors are operating in the same fashion. Big Cankles, Queen Latifah up there in New York. Nobody brought her this case. Nobody came to her and said, hey, big ankles. The Trump defrauded me. He stuck me for about $2 billion. Yeah, nobody went to Big Cankles and said that. Big Cankles decided, I think Trump has inflated his property. All by herself, just woke up in the middle of the night. No predicate whatsoever. But that's what she feels. So we're supposed to believe these things are legit, right? And you wonder why Trump is becoming more popular.
Mr. Bragg? Yes, you do, Your Honor. You have that about right.
Yeah.
Let's go on.
Oh, let's go on with the scenario.
Mr. Bragg, what kind of case do you intend to bring in front of me? What kind of arguments? What kind of motions? In other words, where are you trying to take this court?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. You're trying to take it down the drain. You're trying to make it look like night court. Trying to make it look like a kangaroo court right about now, Mike. So let's hear what Alvin Bragg would say in this scenario. What could he say after all the details that Mark Levin just pointed out if the judge was legit? You would think at that point, Fat Albert would go, uh-oh, I got a judge with integrity. He done scoped it out. I'm corrupt and I'm evil, and this is all politically motivated. You know, it's second thought, Your Honor. We're going to go ahead and withdraw the charges. That's what he should be doing after all the things that Mark just pointed out. But let's continue because the judge didn't do that. He's going forward.
Well, Your Honor, we want to bring individuals in who can tell a story about Mr. Trump's past practices.
So what? That ain't got nothing to do with this.
Inquirer to show that payments were made to Hush, Stormy Daniels, and others. We need to bring in Michael Cohen, who made the...
What that got to
Mr.
do with
Bragg,
this?
yes. It sounds to me like this is highly speculative and political. Have you ever heard of the collateral evidence problem?
No, Rudy. I haven't heard of that. Hey, why don't you go ahead and tell me, Fat Albert? So let's hear, because obviously Fat Albert have not heard of this, and neither have this judge without integrity.
What is that? Have any of you in the audience? No, because all these great legal minds haven't told you about it.
What?
Collateral evidence cannot be admitted because of a lot of reasons. Number one, the propensity to commit wrongdoing is not considered probative.
Oh.
As a matter of fact, it's considered prejudicial to the defendant. You can't bring in the person's life stories or their litigation history or anything else. You got a case in front of you, and the case being tried is the case in front of you.
But you can't try the case in front of you because the evidence isn't there, and it's not a crime, Fat Albert. So what are you going to do? You're going to use this case, this platform, this courtroom, as a campaign smear. You're going to turn it into the Ricky Lake, Jerry Springer show. That's what you're going to do. If I was the judge with integrity, I would be going to say, you want to turn my courtroom into something salacious? You want to bring in all of these folks that ain't got nothing to do with the accusations or the charges or whatever these charges are, because I still don't know what they are. I still don't know what they are, Fat Albert. But you're going to bring in all of these folks that you can bring up there. So did Mr. Trump have an affair with you? Did Mr. Trump ever lie? And then you know what? So all of that becomes nothing more than a kangaroo court and a platform for them to try to make Trump look foul, taint his character, try to destroy his character. It's a PR hit because he still haven't said what is the crime. So you would think the judge would say, I'm not going to let you do that. But Mark, what did the judge do?
The facts and the law in front of you. You're the judge. That's the jury. This isn't Mr. Trump. This is your life. And yet that's exactly what's taking place in this courtroom. So this judge should have dismissed this case immediately.
So the judge is letting all of that stuff come. He's letting all rumors. He's letting all the rumors come in. He's letting all of these folks who've been on network after network trashing Trump, but yet Trump got a gag order. Trump got a gag order. I've been watching Stormy Daniels run around talking about Trump. I've been watching Michael Cohen talk about Trump, but yet they're threatening Trump with jail because he got the nerve to call this mess out. Mark, finish it.
Immediately. Let me ask you folks a question.
Yes, please do.
Put yourself in President Trump's shoes.
Okay.
You're charged with 34 counts.
34.
You were indicted. You could go to prison. And you're not exactly sure what you're charged with.
Yeah, now that's a problem. See, I'm sitting here going, man, hold on, wait. What did I do again? All right, you violated section 1739 code 7253. And then wait, hold on, slow down. Let me see. Is that a real code? That's in there somewhere. No need to look. And you know what? The violation of this speaks to the 2nd and 30th, 15th, -3. All of that mess. At the end of the day, everybody's still scratching their head. So now you go into court and you got to defend all of these fake accusations. You got to defend all of the salacious comments that's going to be made by bringing in all of these stinking witnesses that's going to drag you through the gutter. And now you're defending all these little fires. That's what you're doing without even addressing the real charge, because they haven't even broke down the real charge. You're in there trying to defend whether you had an affair or not. You're defending whether all the stuff about Michael Cohen saying you was a slime ball and he never liked anybody. He's selfish. Now you're in there trying to defend all of that, and you're going, but wait a minute, what are we here again for? For a second, I thought we was here because y'all said that I violated some finance, some campaign finance, law or something like that. But now I'm sitting there listening to Stormy Daniels try to now talk about, and I feel like all of a sudden he did assault me, and he looked at me and said that I was nothing but that's what they want to do. They want to convolute this, make it messy, drag it out, smear Trump, and yet at the same time, we all still are wondering what the heck is the charges.
If this isn't a violation of due process, there is no violation of due process. It is impossible for you to defend yourself or for your lawyers to defend yourself in any effective way if you're playing whack-a-mole. Well, maybe they mean this, or maybe they're going to charge with this, or maybe the argument's over here, and I got to deal with this witness over here.
Absolutely.
And what happened 13 years ago with a money payment over here? You understand? You have a right to know with specificity, with detail, what it is that you're accused of.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. They don't want Trump to know what he's accused of because they're making it up as he goes. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't bring in like the 12 women that miraculously appeared when Trump was debating Hillary. The 12 women. I'm surprised. All right, there, Your Honor, we like to call in 12 witnesses. What? Where was this? What? We didn't get it to. Don't worry. I'll allow it. Drag in some witnesses. I'm here to say Trump did nasty things to me. Me too. Hey, I'll allow it. Listen to these women right here. This man's obviously guilty.
Number two, the accusing party, the district attorney, has to have the jurisdiction. He has no federal jurisdiction.
What?
To make allegations about federal election laws. That's number two.
So you telling me this man ain't even got the jurisdiction to even do this? Who deputized him? Who anointed or appointed this guy to go ahead and punch above his weight? Oh, then again, it's hard to do that. Because he's pretty heavy. So let's continue.
Number three, there are no allegations.
None?
There are no charges. There is no adjudication that Donald Trump violated any federal law respecting the election.
So what are we doing here?
So this whole case is a dead case walking.
Dead case walking.
The problem is that won't be realized until appeal.
Oh.
Should there be a conviction on one of 34 counts, the overcharging is absolutely outrageous.
Yeah, hoping that one of them stick. Let's throw a whole bunch of bootleg charges, counts rather, and hopefully something will stick. Hopefully we can convince all these bubbleheads that's sitting in the jury to be like, all right, I guess something. He got to be guilty of one of those. Heck, it's like 34 of them. Surely they wouldn't just be stacking those on. Nah. So let's go ahead and all vote he's guilty on something. That's what they're hoping. And then when this all gets exposed, it'll be too late because it'll be after the election. And that's why we know this is all designed to keep Trump off the campaign trail and to make sure that they can get some bootleg crazy conviction that hopefully will damage him politically. But Mark, I don't think it's going to work.
Which is another thing I would have said to Mr. Bragg as a judge. Mr. Bragg, why are you breaking this into 34 individual charges?
Yeah.
At best here, you have 1, 2, maybe 3 This is called overcharging.
For a
I'm not
reason.
going to allow this to happen in my courtroom.
That's
So
what-
if you had a real
that's what
judge,
I
he
would
would have
say.
dismissed this case. He would have said, I'm sorry, the statute of limitations has run.
That's one.
You brought the case very late in the middle of an election.
That's two.
You're demanding that I take up the case in the middle of an election,
That's
which
three.
really is a mistake. I'm not going to do that.
Thank you.
In fact, it's abhorrent. Number three, you're arguing that there's another law that breathes life back into
We don't know what it is.
expired misdemeanor statute and raises the level to a felony.
We don't know what that law is.
Without any evidence other than your say-so.
No evidence.
In fact, the evidence is contrary. The Fed said no. And you expect me to hold a trial here in the course of this? And then in terms of witnesses, you expect me to agree to a long list of your witnesses that have nothing to do with what I believe to be
Nothing to
your
do.
charges and what I believe to be your alleging.
Yeah, because we don't really know what the charges are. We don't really know what the charges are. See, he's walking us through the mind of a legitimate judge. He's showing us how crazy this is. And he's also highlighting how horrible this judge must be to overlook all of these things. So now this judge is pretending that he's a legitimate judge and he don't see problems with all of this stuff that Mark Levin's pointing out. So that means we have to question his ability to be a judge. One of two things is taking place. Either you're a corrupt judge or your judgment is whack. You can't see the obvious things. I had no idea that there was a statute of limitations. So there's one of those. There's a okay. Where's it at? Where's the statute? No, not the statute. The statute of limitations. What's that? What that? Okay, so wait a minute. So there are. What about he doesn't know any of these things? That's what you're telling me? So all legitimate legal scholars are going, we know that stuff. You can't pull this over on us because we know that this is garbage. And you know it's garbage. So either you should have never passed law school or you're corrupt. One of the two.
In this case, do you understand that due process applies to the states under the 5th and the 14th Amendments? That is to this courtroom?
Well.
And it is my job to ensure that the Constitution of the United States is upheld with
If I was
respect
a
to the Bill
legitimate
of Rights,
judge.
even in a state courtroom?
Yes, if I was a legitimate judge. There you go.
The Biden administration involvement is grotesque.
What?
And it is obvious.
So Creepy's involved? Not Creepy, but Creepy's campaign. Creepy's people are involved. Creepy people. So now we find out that they got their fingerprints on all of this stuff.
You've heard about this man who was the number 3 man at the Department of Justice, Associate Deputy Attorney General of the United States.
What does he got to do
That
with
is a
this?
big damn job. And he was the acting Associate Deputy Attorney General of the United States.
So what is he
appointed
doing
by
now?
Joe Biden under Merrick Garland. He leaves.
Garlic? So he was the acting attorney general under Garlic? So he leaves that position to do what, Mark?
This prestigious post to work with Letitia James
No, he didn't.
on her case against Donald Trump.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't, Mark. Because we saw all of the fake news going, no, there's no evidence. Why you say that? There's no evidence the Biden administration knew about these things. Yeah, they all figured it out when we figured it out. They woke up, go out, check the news, and it's like, what? They're charging Trump with who is Laquisha James? Wait a minute, who's Fannie Willis? That's crazy, man. Trump must have really did something. They want us to believe that. So now we got this dude going down there assisting this and quarterbacking this behind the scenes. You see why they're trying to save their own lives? Because their fingerprints is all over this. That means that if Trump get back in, he should have somebody go in and unleash hell upon all of these people.
Here we have a case against Donald Trump that alleges fraud without fraud. Just as we have this Bragg case that alleges crimes, if we can figure them out, where there's no crimes.
We don't-
Fraud where there's no fraud.
Is it a
crimes
crime?
where there's no crimes.
There you go.
And so who is behind all this?
Yeah.
Well, in part, it's the number 3 guy, the Biden guy. He helps Letitia James, then he moves to help Alvin Bragg.
What? So we got a floating corrupt politician. Laquisha James, this is what you need to do. All right, now let me go over there and help Fat Albert because he's struggling, okay? I'm going to go over and help him too. These people are evil, man. It burns me up. And they're doing it right out in the open. Right out in the open, man. He don't care if everybody knows He left the White House. All he's gonna do is say, "Well, actually, I left the White House. There is no connection." He want us to believe that. That would be his excuse, his defense. I'm sure. Ever since I left the White House, I haven't been in any communication. Nobody told me. Nobody told me to go down there and help out. These were just things that fell in my lap. They would try to belittle our intelligence and try to make us think that this guy has no connection, and he did this just through natural development. I'm sure that's what they would tell us.
He's a very busy man, so he goes from this prestigious federal position into Attorney General's office,
There you go.
and then to a lower office, a DA's office, and we're all supposed to pretend he's just a good Samaritan lawyer, that's all.
Yep, that's it, man. Let me go ahead and downgrade my position just because I want to go ahead and pay it forward. That's right. I'm going to leave the higher office and the higher position and go all the way down to a lower court just to go ahead and help out around here. You guys, I'm volunteering. Anybody need any help around here? I'm here to go and coach some people and stuff like that on how to stop Trump. Oh, wait, I can't say that. I'm here to go ahead and volunteer my services. Now, it is so obvious that this is corrupt. And we're going to go ahead and end it, too, with somebody else that's going to blow this out the water.
No, he's there representing the Biden regime in their effort to destroy Donald Trump and imprison him before this election. That is exactly what's going on.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's basically.
See, thank you, Mark. Mark Levin had to go ahead and show us in a good scenario, in a perfect world, in a just legal system, the judge would have saw all the stuff that Mark pointed out and said, get this crap out of here. Get it out of here. But we all know that this is corrupt. And then Jonathan Twirly comes in and he says, let me go ahead. Tag me in, Mark. Tag me in. Well, go ahead then, Jonathan. Tag in, baby.
What we expected. They weren't asking for jail time. The threat is lingering out there. The judge wanted to put this Damocles sword dangling over his head. It's there. And
so they held Trump in contempt of court, and then they threatened him with jail time? Why ain't they lock him up right there? Any thoughts? Any thoughts of why they didn't just go ahead and say, bailiff, to go ahead and handcuff the prisoner?
And the thread's getting thinner. And that's basically what the judge is saying. Unfortunately, I don't think the judge has re-examined his order. I think it's poorly written. And I also think it's way too broad. And
so basically, you don't respect this judge because he's corrupt. Yeah. See, he has to go ahead and write all of this stuff and make all these provisions and go through all these hoops to try to stop Trump, silence Trump, cover up the fact that he's corrupt, protect his daughter, all of these things that he has to do just to go ahead and try to pull this off. He got to make himself look like a raggedy, bootleg night court judge that doesn't know the law, just so he can attempt to get Trump.
Inclusion of Michael Cohen in that order is absurd. I mean, you have someone who is making money campaigning against Trump and attacking him on this trial, and the judge is letting him speak, but not for the president to respond.
So now, wait a minute. Why would he do that? You're telling me you're letting this slimeball ex-con, this dude right here, this lawyer, slimeball, former lawyer, he can go out and say things like this?
He put out another post that attacked me. I'll tell you how I would act on it. If I was the judge, I would turn around and I would say, Donald, grab your toothbrush, grab your hair, and report to 500 Pearl Street, the criminal court, because you're spending the night in the tombs downstairs.
Just like you did. Just like you when they threw you in a slammer. They got him in a slammer. So just like you phony behind raggedy sellout you. Now look at this man. He's on TV talking about the judge should throw Trump in jail. Yeah, man. Judge ain't got nothing to say about that. But it ain't personal. It ain't personal. Go ahead, Michael Cohen. Go out there and punch Trump because I got his arms tied behind his back. He can't swing back at you. And look at this dirtball doing it.
And you'll spend every day. We'll bring you up for the trial, but afterwards, you're not going back to your triplex. You're going downstairs to the pokey until you learn how to act like a human being.
Now, see, everybody talks trash until they get punched in the mouth. So now this fool out here talking reckless because he know he can't get punched in the mouth. This judge is horrible. Letting this dude say stuff like this. And Trump got to sit back and take it. Letting Eugene Carroll, the other judge,
Let her run around on TV. And Donald Trump said, and you know what? And we're going to get all kind of nice things, Rachel. Do you want a motorcycle?
That woman's crazy. I never touched her. That's defamation. Give her 85 million.
That's what I would.
Unreal. So guys, look at this. Fake news want Trump to go to jail. What do you think would happen if that happened? Let's see. Oops, how'd I get way back there? So we're almost done. Hold on, let me see. Right there we go.
But afterwards, you're not going back to your triplex. You're going downstairs to the pokey until you learn how to act like a human being.
Listen to
That's
that,
what I would.
That's what I would do. Boy, I tell you, man. That's the situation where I just want a friendly sparring match with Michael Cohen. That's all. Because he's talking like a tough guy, like a wise guy. That's what I would do. Yeah. All of this right there. But let's continue because the fake news want Trump locked up.
The fine is not going to deter, but incarceration will. If I were the trial judge, yes, I would impose jail time.
Really? If Donald Trump continues to attack jurors and or witnesses or even court personnel, then the judge will really have no choice but to incarcerate him. That could be for an afternoon or overnight.
Oh, please. Man, y'all selling wolf tickets. Y'all already know that his popularity would go out the roof if they threw him in jail. They know he got them by the testes. Because what they're seeing is a correlation between their attacks on Trump and his popularity. Yeah, it's a conundrum. We thought the attacks would bring his popularity down. Now, we're trying to take away this man's voice and throw him in jail for talking. And everybody can relate to that. So wait a minute. So you telling me if I'm being charged with something, if I start talking, y'all can just say, shut your mouth and let other people just trash me? I can't defend myself? Y'all trying to attack this man's ability to speak and go put him in jail for it? I mean, can you imagine the crap storm that would come down on him? So now they got to talk tough. Yeah, the judge got to be, all right, you do it again. It's the threat to the kid. But mister, you're going to make me get up. There's no cookies for you. All of that mess. And Trump knows it. That's why he said, lock me up. I'll campaign from jail. Do it. Because I'm going to keep talking. There you go. Now he becomes a hero. We're like, this dude right now is fighting against the system. They told this man to shut up, and he's like, nope, I'm going to open my mouth even wider. Yeah, go ahead and find me.
I would give him 2 weeks of home confinement with an ankle bracelet.
2 weeks.
If he's a good boy in those 2 weeks.
Who are you talking to? You, Mr. Burns looking? If he's a good boy.
And he doesn't violate the gag order, we can take off the ankle.
Wow. Now imagine if the left ruled our country. We'd all have rights. Wouldn't we? Wouldn't it be great? Our First and Second Amendment rights, or would we all be thrown in the gulags for stinking thinking and wrong thinking, hate speech and disagreeing with Democrats? So now we're going to go ahead and see what is the result of all of these attacks, man. How many? I mean, at what point do they just tap out?
So we'll get you more information inside the Trump trial in a moment here, but just wanted to take you back to August of 2022, or less than 2 years now, okay?
Here we go.
This is where it all began with the FBI raid at Mar-a-Lago.
Okay,
what we have done here on this graphic is show you the yellow line. That's the Fox News approval rating for Donald Trump during all of this, okay? So back then it was at 42%. Let's move along quickly here. You have the indictment in the New York case here, in the Trump matter here. You got another indictment in the Docs trial, and that has now been moved to Miami.
Nothing suspicious.
An indictment in January 6th case, and you see where he dips to 39% at that moment. That was August of 2023, okay, so less than a year ago.
Then what happened?
And you got the indictment again. There's a lot of
Another
indictments. Indictment in the Georgia election case down in Fulton County. You see where it starts to tick back up here to 43%. And then you have this monster ruling against Trump with the business fraud case in New York, $454 million. You also had that monster ruling against him with Eugene Carroll, $83 million. And then you had a couple states like Maine and Colorado trying to overturn and kick Trump off the ballot. That was overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court to keep him on the ballot. And look where the trend line was, right? We started, what were we? Hang on, Jimmy. We had 42% way back then. Dana, we're at 45% now for Trump, right?
Look at that. All of those attacks and charges are normal. They're not politically motivated. Do you see the compilation of attacks? And they want us all to think that that's normal. A former president, constant indictments, constant court cases, constant bootleg rulings, constant, manipulation of the law and contorting stuff to try to make it seem like he did something. And they can't understand why his popularity hasn't dropped. It's because we see what this is. If y'all would have tried to temper it a little bit, make it seem somewhat believable, maybe some of his popularity would have dropped. But when you go, wait a minute, they did what again? Okay, something's going on. 4 indictments? Hold on, now they want to get him off the ballot? Wait a minute, and they giving the crazy girl got 85 million? Big ankles just trying to take the man's property? And he got fined how much? 450. Man, something's going on here. And the Democrats and the left don't even realize it. They don't realize that less is better. They're like, keep piling it on. Yeah, at some point we'll convince these people that these are all legit. Yeah, they're too legit to quit. And then we have one of their own that's going to finish the show off, Dershowitz.
Your take on what's going on in this Manhattan DA's courtroom where Donald Trump has been spending all his days. What is the crime?
There is no crime. That's why they're putting on people like Pecker talking about catch and kill. They're putting on McDougal. They're putting on. There's no crime. And
is it a crime? Is it a crime? So wait. Instead of dealing with the crime, bring in some clowns. All right. We'll tell you at some point what the charges are and what the crime is. But first we want to bring in Terry Cope. She went to school with Donald Trump in the 2nd grade, and she was saying even then he would take her lunch money. And would you please go ahead and tell us how Donald Trump treated you in the 2nd grade? Thank you. Now you need some water or something. You're real brave. No, I'm okay. When I was in the 2nd grade, Donald Trump looked at me and said, "Can I borrow your crayons?" And I said, "No, they're mine, Donald." He said, "No, everything's mine." And he took them. And then he snatched my lunch money. And that's how he became a billionaire. He used my lunch money. Yeah, all of that. That's what they want. And still have not talked about the crime. We're still trying to find the crime. Somebody, hold up. I'm coming to court tomorrow, Donald. I'm on my way. I'm going to find the crime. Nah, I don't see it there. I don't see it. All right, let's continue, Dershowitz.
No, they ought to be very careful about this because the Supreme Court, the appellate court in Albany, just reversed Harvey Weinstein's conviction on the ground that they put in too much information that wasn't really relevant to the case, and that's what's happening.
Wow. So the Weinstein might have got off because they always just say, let's go ahead and smear the person's character instead of dealing with the main ingredients. Let's focus on the accusation and the crime. But what do? Let's juice it up. Let's spice it up. It's like going out to eat and the waiter comes out and he's like, yes, you want the steak, the sirloin, and it comes with a little bit of this and the cavatelli on the side. And then they bring it out and you're going, okay, this looks great and all. I see a lot of lettuce and syrup you've all drizzled all over the plate. And there's some, looks like plants or something on the side. And then there's a smiley face you drew for me. The fruit is cut with a smile too. That's nice. But the steak is only that big. I want to focus on the meat, the substance, man. Yeah, you're trying to get me looking at all of the stuff around it. The flow. Look at this. Look at the presentation. See, look at that. And I'm going, I'm a carnivore. Stick with the meat, man. That's what I want to see. The meat. So now they out there trying to distract everybody with all of this stupid stuff. And there
is no crime in Manhattan. You cannot figure out what the crime is.
We don't know.
That's why they're putting on all this evidence of non-crimes, trying to persuade the jury that catch and kill is a crime. It's not. Paying hush money is a crime. It's not. Putting a corporate statement is a misdemeanor barred by the statute of limitations. You can't suddenly resurrect that and turn that into a crime by invoking a federal statute, which the federal government refused to invoke. Federal Election Commission refused to invoke. There is no crime. And if it's Donald
Okay, they can go after you tomorrow and your relatives tomorrow for something that isn't a crime. That's why every American, whether you're a Democrat, should be opposed to what's going on in that Manhattan courtroom. It's a scandal, and it's a destruction of America's rule of law.
Thank you, Dershowitz. That means we got to get our butts out and vote. I'm going to be camping out, ready. Don't want to oversleep by accident. Who knows what can happen? Got to vote, because this mess is crazy. We got the United States looking so bad right about now. We got folks running around protesting, taking up space, and threatening folks, intimidating folks. Legal immigrants running rampant. We got a crazy skeleton in the office shuffling across the lawn looking like he's half dead. Don't know what the heck he's talking about. We got politicians who all you got to do is listen to them. You say, these are dummies, man. These people are, how did they even get in office? It seems like all the other leaders around the country are running circles around our leaders because our leaders are more focused on corruption and power. And I'm going, they don't even sound smart. Only dumb people would look at our leaders as smart right about now. All you got to do is look at their decisions that they're making. And you'll say, man, these folks are dumb. They put us in this position. They're the ones that unleashed the crazies. They unleashed the crazies because they were trying to stop Trump. Now the crazies are on the loose. Got out of control. They're going after Trump, and they're obvious. And so they're that desperate that they are trying to concoction a crime that we can't find. Putting together a crime that we can't find. Trying to make Trump do the time for a crime that we can't find. So guys, we'll see what happens. But God bless y'all. God bless America. We all know now through all of those wonderful legal scholars that I let play tonight what this is all about. So therefore, when you run across some of your dumb friends who's talking about, but what about all the crimes that Trump committed? Which ones? If Dershowitz can't figure one out, if the great one Twirly can't figure it out, how can you, the casual viewer of MSNBC and CNN, come to the conclusion that Donald Trump committed a crime? Even Fat Albert can't figure it out. They don't even, Fat Albert's like, he did something, I'm pretty sure, or at least I'm going to keep saying that. And the only reason I'm going to keep doing that is because I got a corrupt, evil judge on my side. That no matter how raggedy this case is, you know, how much crap I throw up against the sea, he's going to let it fly. Yes, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. That Trump, shut up. Mr. Trump, no more talking. I'll find you in contempt. Now continue telling us about his past and all of his evil deeds, please. That's why Fat Albert's able to do this. That's why Fat Albert doesn't have to present a real crime. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Please hit that like button. Share my videos. Follow me on all the other social media platforms. And if you want to give me your lunch money, please feel free, because the link to donate to my channel is right below. I got a Cash App and a PayPal link. You can do that if you want. Or if you want to go ahead and check out Kevin's Corner Store, you can do that as well. Shop till your heart drops. Text MAGA to 330-974-4607. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. And check your notifications. Make sure they're turned on to all. And if you are subscribed to the channel, every once in a while, you might want to check and make sure you're still subscribed, because, you know, it is what it is. They'll go ahead and unsubscribe you against your will. So now, with that being said, I will be back tomorrow, and I'm going to be highlighting all of the animals that escaped the zoo that's running around our whole country terrorizing everything. So see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place, man. Let's bounce. Who's scared? Not me. This is Austin. This is Austin. I need to see the apes. I need to see the belly terror. Take care.